Putting a what?
Well, I told him this, I said, get whatever the agreement is that you were providing, and let Vern modify it, the way they think they want to modify it, and then take a look at it. And that's, but I told Jerry, I was not on it is.
All right, good morning. Welcome to the Board of Works for September 8th, 7th. We'll start with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. All right, well, welcome everybody this morning. We'll start with the approval of the minutes from the August 17th meeting. Those have been presented.
You see anything?
No.
They looked okay to me, so I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
As
Second.
presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. All right, welcome Councilman Fresh. How are you today?
Fine.
Good. And all of our visitors here today, appreciate it. With no reports, oral and written communications, and no unfinished business, we'll move right into new business. First request, I see Mr. Gaff is here, requesting a very similar closure for their neighborhood association celebration. Aaron, if you want to step up to the microphone for just a second, please. This is pretty much what you guys have done in the past. The times are about the same. I assume really no change from the last few years you've done this.
Correct. This is the same request that we've put through, I think, for the past 4 to 5 years. Essentially, we're asking for a very small section of Laurelwood Drive in our neighborhood that intersects with Highlander. We'd like to close down this small section of the road, essentially for the safety of our children, because we're going to have bounce houses and grills and kids' games. And so all of the neighbors, there's only 5 lots that are affected by this. The majority will be at the party. We always give them a heads up. We can move the barricades if needed. We have plenty of adults around to ensure safety in the event that an emergency vehicle would need to come through, and or also if a neighbor needed to get through the barricade. So,
All right, any questions of Mr. Gaff? Mike or Scott, you guys having any issues with that neighborhood closure in the past? Okay.
I'll move to approve the closure.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, I hope you have good weather on the 29th and you guys have a good time.
thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Chief Wilson, pay application 12, Station 3, to Mosaic Building Solutions.
Presented in front of you today is pay application number 12 for station number 3, located on 200 South. This went to the Fire Territory Board on Tuesday, was approved. It's presented to you for $76,972. You'll see that Martin Riley on page 2 has verified all the construction that's listed on this is complete.
This was approved by the Warsaw Wayne Township Fire Territory Board meeting at their September 4th meeting. We had no questions. As you can see, we're getting down to the very end of this. $50,000 left for retainage, which leaves about $26,000 contingency, which hopefully we won't need. Any questions?
No.
I move to accept.
Second?
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Justin, I think you're going to present the Rotary Park grant that was received by the KCCRVC.
Yeah, so today I'm just requesting that you approve the acceptance of a grant we were awarded. I applied for this grant with your permission, and we received $20,000 for the development of Rotary Park. So it's just one more step closer to developing that site and making it a neighborhood asset. So today I would just like to ask the board to approve accepting those funds from KCC RBC.
So with this donation, where does that put us as far as, most of this money's been donated, I think the city acquired the land, and then Rotary and KCCRB have pretty much supported all the construction in that park.
Correct. We are about $30,000 away from where we need to be to, with the current budget. Obviously, elements of the park can be added or subtracted based on where we get, or we could add them in phases later. But I believe to date, we're about 30,000 short of our ultimate goal.
So that's with, including this 20,000.
Correct. So,
All right.
still a lot of work to do, but it's pretty exciting to see it take shape. Later this month, we'll be placing the cogs out at the park, the giant gears that will go in place on the monument. So, pretty exciting to see that come together.
All right. Questions?
No. It's always easy to approve the acceptance of a grant, so I'll move to approve.
Second.
All right, any further questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks,
Thanks.
Justin. Jeremy, change order from NDOT.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I would actually like to jump down to the notice to proceed first, and then we can go back to the change order.
Very good. That would be item,
It's like it's 5.
item 5.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
So item 5 is the notice to proceed to basically give the engineering construction inspection company the notice that we've given them the right to proceed with the contract that we already signed with them. And this goes to NDOT. So approval of this starts their engineering contract for the oversight of Market Street construction.
All right, the time has come.
It has come.
It has come. And again, just a reminder, we'll be having a neighborhood meeting for all those neighbors and businesses September 10th, I believe it's Monday night at
Monday night at 5:30.
5:30 right here.
Right here. Yep.
Okay. Questions?
Nope.
Move to approve.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, now we'll go back to item 4. This is the change order. I assume it's for that contract.
It is for that contract. What you have before you is the first change order, and there'll probably be more to come. But as the engineers design the project, obviously, when you bring in a contractor, there's always going to be little things that the contractor says it's easier to do it this way than that way. So this first change order reflects them just changing the patching, how they're going to do the patching. Instead of using asphalt or instead of using concrete, they're going to use a different format of a concrete, a little bit cheaper version of it. So saving some money, so it's going to be a reduction of $6,419.70 from the contract. But there are some other pipe work that will be done that will probably be an increase to the contract. So we're not saving money yet, but we'll work on it.
So when there's just a general question, when there's a change order like that, it doesn't diminish what we can continue to collect from NDOT,
No.
okay? It's just the contract itself, it shows a reduction in the cost.
Yeah, so the way this works is because NDOT gives us a set amount of money. So that money will be there through the entirety of the contract. If we keep reducing the contract, then we're not going to get any money back, but we're not going to charge any money. So at the end, it depends on what the balance is. If we're over, then we'd have to pay whatever we're over on the contract. If we're under, then we don't have any pavement.
Fair enough. Questions?
I'll move to approve the change order.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks, Jeremy. I know it's been a long time coming, and really excited to get that project started. So, Mr. Beeler, micro sealing and crack sealing contract.
And I need to make a correction to my cover page. It says bids were open Tuesday, November 29th, 2017. That would have been 2016 for construction work that was done in 2018. We're looking to be able to extend their contract bid to work be able to be done this year. The Indiana code says that you can extend the contract no longer than the same term that was initially done, which would have been a year. And so we were asking to be able to do that for this year's work.
I looked at it, seen some.
Okay. So it meets the code that you've referenced in the letter, okay?
Yep, and as long as the municipality and the contractor both agree to the same services provided at the same price, then you're allowed to do that. If there are any changes made, then you kind of make that null and void.
Okay, questions?
No?
I move to approve.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks, Jeff. Rebecca's not here. This wastewater payment, office requesting, Mr. Rayfior is requesting a reduction in his sewage bill, his wastewater bill, because of a break in his
Irrigation system.
yeah, the sprinkler lines. And I think we've set it up such that this is similar to a sprinkling credit or filling a swimming pool, but if there is an inordinate increase, and they can prove that there's a leak, I think it has to come before the Board of Works, and then you all have to approve that reduction in the sewer bill.
Looks like he has a valid point to me when you look over all this.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's water leak, but he wasn't using that much sewage because of the leak in the water, so I would agree that, I would agree to reduce his bill back down to what his average was, and that's the protocol. That's how we've done it with the sprinkling credits, is we take that 5 gallon, or that average, that monthly average over for, I think, 3 or 4 months in the winter. So I think that's exactly what Rebecca's done.
Pretty detailed explanation of all of that.
Yeah.
Are you okay with this?
Yeah, I don't think he was watering his yard.
No, I don't think so.
So I think it's a
There she is.
legitimate concern.
Hi, Rebecca, we're just talking about your case. Yes?
You were talking about it, did you say?
Yeah, Mr. Rayfield's
Okay.
request.
Yes, he came in, I think, last week, and requested a credit on his commercial account until the construction is done down on North Buffalo Street. I'm sure you can see all his notes. He did talk to Jeremy, said that the construction has tore up his irrigation system, which, from what I understand, is in the city property, or on the city property, but that it did cause an increase in his bill. So I did calculate if you were to allow me to adjust it until that's complete, his average is about 5,000 gallons a month, his normal average. And his bill that he had was for 22,000 gallons.
Okay. And this is the procedure that you use when someone requests due to some type of break or leak?
Yep, for a leak,
Just
I
go back
use
and-
about a 6-month average. And then the sprinkling credit that we've been doing, it's been about a 3 to 6 month average
Okay,
from prior.
all right. And you did note that this sprinkling system was out in the city right away, just for the record, but the important thing here is as far as the sewage bill, I would agree that we should reduce that.
Yeah. I'll move to approve the bill adjustment request.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Brian. Pay request for the sewer rehab project.
Yeah, this is through the SRF loan. We're almost to the end of this contract. We're getting down there, but they're still doing the final engineering and design on these sewer lining projects that are occurring around the town. So, recommending payment.
Questions?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Brian, just briefly, can you just update us on the progress of the relining? I know there's been a lot of work going on.
It's going pretty well. As we actually get into it, we rush to try and get these projects out, so there's a little more engineering that we're doing sort of on the fly. But it does seem to be going well. I'm going to try and work with Stacy a little better and get look-ahead schedules out for next week. I still have not received the look-ahead schedules for next week yet. So, but as soon as I get those, we'll try and get those out and let you know the areas that there may be some delays or restrictions in.
All right.
Brian, I think they were on Main Street, correct me if I'm wrong, and they've done a great job. Are they the ones that are correcting those manholes too around the?
Yes.
Yeah, I was really worried about Main Street and that, and boy, they're doing a nice job of laying those in as they tear everything up.
Yeah,
So,
they're doing a real good job.
Yeah. So that was that group, that's
Yeah,
what's
that was
going on
part
there?
of the Manhole.
Yeah,
Reconstruction and lining and.
thank you.
Just curious, have they run into any areas of this pipe that have been a surprise where maybe they have needed to decide they might need to replace instead of reline or have to do something different?
Unfortunately, we have one right at Fort Wayne in Detroit, right in the middle of State Road 15 that we're gonna have to dig and replace at some point. We had permits to do lane restrictions and line it, but to dig's a whole nother permitting process through the state, so we're working through that currently.
Right.
But other than that, some of the things we found is, we said it was an 8-inch, they found it to be a 6 inches, some of those differences like that, but in general, it's going smooth.
Good. All right, then the next item, the engineering for the SRF portion of the plant expansion. I did talk to you this morning about this. This is engineering for the bid phase, and
All right, this has been sort of an ongoing contract with Wessler dating back when they first started looking at plant capacity and if we should do a plant expansion, and then we decided we should do a plant expansion. So we had amendments 1 and 2, and then amendment number 3 was after we decided what we were going to do. That was for the design of the treatment plant, but it did not include the bid phase of that. So this amendment number 4 is through the bid phase of the plant, which it was advertised went out for bid essentially on the 5th.
okay, questions?
No. Move to approve?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. And then are you gonna do the stormwater contract with Grace?
Yes, I
or
am.
With Lily?
This is with the Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams. We did this for several years. It's a great program. We do the lakes in the classrooms where they put the aquariums in all the elementary schools within the city limits, public and private schools. They go in once a week and discuss those aquariums and talk about pollutants getting in there. And so that's been a great education program with our stormwater program. And then they also do the day at the lake, where they take kids out and have these different stations set up, and you do activities lake related and how humans can impact the environment. We also do the Indiana Lakes Festival. They help with that. All this is part of our stormwater program requirements that we have to meet every year with education and outreach. So we're just partnering with them and letting them help us do some of the work.
They're out on Winona today, testing and doing stuff, lakes and streams. They do a great job.
Yeah, we went through the new Dane Miller Science Center a couple weeks ago, and we saw where all the aquariums are set up. It's pretty impressive. We've got native plants and
Yeah, it's native fish,
Fish
native
and-
plants, so it's sort of like a little local lake in the classroom, and
it's really impressive.
the kids love it, and it's a great education.
And again, just to reiterate, for our MS4, for our permit, we have to provide education, stormwater education, and this meets that checkoff on that permit application. So this is really, the education is a requirement. So, and we're very appreciative that we've got Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams to provide that education. They do a great job. All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Travel requests. Scott, you want to come up and just address those real quick? I think you've got 2 going to a dark web investigations and 2 going to a public safety drive conference.
Correct. The public safety dive course is in Illinois.
Is it dive course or drive?
It's a dive course.
Oh, all right. So check that on you.
It says a drive.
All right.
I did not write drive, if that's what it says. But no,
It's
that's
a public dive
It's a
conference.
dive conference, correct. So we'll have the dive commander and another diver going to that. It includes a number of different areas of training to include underwater investigations. And then the second is the
Dark web investigation?
dark web, yeah. And we're sending 2, I don't know if you have both of those, but we're sending 2 officers to that training.
Yes.
Okay. And that course is being provided at a minimal cost for the type of training that it is. And both of these investigators are forensic investigators when it comes to the cell phones as it is now. And this is just furthering their education with, obviously, the crimes on the internet and via cell phone or computer use.
Questions? All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Chief, you've got 4 guys going to OSHA, command, tactical emergency medicine.
Tactical emergency medicine is working with Lutheran EMS. We're sending 1 advanced EMT so that when law enforcement has an issue in the situation, even though they have SWAT medics, there's going to be somebody that's also trained on our side of the house that will be able to go in to help take care of them if something happens to them once they've cleared an area. Sending him to Bowling Green because the expertise of the class that's over there. Justin Miller and Drew. Drew Schilling is going to a Size Up and Command on Firegrounds 2-day class. It's also at Bowling Green University. And we're very pleased with what we're getting back from them. OSHA for Aaron. Actually, most of that's paid for out of HR budget. Aaron's been working real close for the last few years with OSHA requirements within the city to be able to answer and handle all the questions for the whole all the department heads. This is a class to teach us how to do our own in-house accident investigations involving OSHA.
Questions?
I move to accept all requests.
Second?
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, Lynn has presented 1 special claim from the Cemetery Permit Fund for $93.71 and 94 cents.
For paving.
For paving.
Let's not make Hal stand up.
All right, is there a motion to approve the
So moved.
special claim?
Se-
Move to approve.
Second?
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, and then we've got the claims docket that needs approved. Some questions?
No.
No, I had a couple things I already had
Okay.
answered, so, okay.
All right, I move to accept.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Thank you. Then I do have one kind of a clerical item. It's a walk-in. Basically, this is essentially an assignment of contract from Turner Valentine to Valentine. So it would be effective October 1st through the end of the year. comments on that? I mean, it's just basically a,
With leaving the private practice September 30th, then I'll continue on city work. And I'm taking over that contract, and I'll be headquartered upstairs. Joe can throw stuff at me up here.
Do you need a motion on that?
yes, please.
I'll move to approve that, we call it assignment of contract.
Second?
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Did that have, did there about doubling the rates?
No.
No.
No, actually, it have.
I left it
Said
out.
We would 50% discount on the rates.
Yeah,
There's a lot I could say right now, but
okay.
We're getting our money's worth.
all right.
Mike.
Any other items carry forward? Any, you guys got anything? Larry, got anything to say? All right, good enough. Any visitors, comments, questions? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thank you.
How did you get hurt? How did you get hurt? Your Achilles? Oh, that's so nice.
This is all for you, guys.
Hey, chief. Got the police.